In this episode, we will be looking at how discomfort is such a valuable part of your life and why you need to actively seek it. My name is Vanessa Bonnie, and I am obsessed with all things personal transformation and business transformation. And what I wanted to share with you today is about discomfort. This is something that I'm really leaning into and exploring more and more and more as I get older in life. And this is an area that every time I push against it and I resist it, um, and it doesn't work, and I give in and I lean to that discomfort, I actually see how valuable it is in my life. Unknowingly true, unknowingly true. So valuable. And I wanted to share two phrases. So there's probably two phrases that you have heard time and time and time again. And every time you hear them, you will nod your head and say, yes, so true. And probably do a massive eye roll on the inside. And it's one of those phrases that, we hear all the time. And how often do we actually implement that advice? We know it to be true for others. We know it to be true for ourselves. And particularly if we want others to lean into this, we need to be setting an example, regardless of our lived experience and identity. We need to be living from this place because we all have privilege and we all need to do and be better in the world. Again, that is a saying, we all need to do and be better in the world. How annoying is it to hear it? And at the same time, how true is it? And how important is it? And the reason why people keep saying it, and I keep saying it, is because not enough people are leaning into that. So that's one phrase, and not the phrase that we're going to talk about today. What we're going to talk about today is discomfort. So the two phrases that you might have heard all the time is, particularly when it comes to the work of inclusion, is that we need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. We need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And the second phrase that you would have heard since time again is get outside our comfort zone. In order to grow, in order to be a growth mindset individual, not a fixed mindset individual, you need to get outside your comfort zone. In order to grow, in order to innovate, in order to scale, in order to grow, in order to be successful and make more money and have lasting, beautiful, meaningful relationships and blah, 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 blah. It annoys me even just saying it out loud. That in order to grow, in order to experience more of life, we do need to get outside of our comfort zone. So as annoying as these phrases are, to repeatedly hear them from all different sources and places and people and things, and even within ourselves, that we need to be comfortable being uncomfortable and that we need to get outside of our comfort zone. As annoying as these phrases are, every time we hear them or that we repeat them to ourselves, what is more annoying is that we know it to be true. We know it's a thing that we need to do, and yet we do not do it. I believe that we're living in a comfort-obsessed world. We are living in a world that is obsessed with removing friction in all areas of our life. So as helpful and as enhancing as modern technology and innovation and advances have been in the modern world, it is removing from us our ability as humans to tolerate discomfort and friction in our lives and in business and in our careers as well. So we're living in a modern world that is obsessed with comfort. And the problem with that is that when we are obsessed with comfort, we are deliberately and seeking to remove friction. And friction is actually what is needed, because all creation stems from chaos. Okay? Let me say that. All creation stems from chaos. And the art is not reacting to the chaos. It is about staying calm and redirecting that energy. And when we redirect that energy, that's when we get to create. So that chaos, what is that? It's friction. It's atoms colliding. It's conflict, sometimes in a non-genocidal way, because that type of conflict is not okay. And particularly the type of conflict where people are intentionally hurt and harmed. I'm talking about conflict within our inner selves. I'm talking about conflict even a little bit outside of ourselves as well, feeling the discomfort in life and riding the wave anyway. So the reality and the truth is that we're living in a world that is very obsessed with comfort, and we need to be aware of that. Doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, okay? These businesses that are able to nail it and do it extremely well, scale and provide jobs and add to the economy and I don't know, do other wonderful things, and highly problematic, because when we are surrounded by areas in all parts of our life where we're moving more and more towards comfort, what are we removing from ourselves is the skill and the ability to deal with discomfort, to deal with friction, and to adapt, to learn to adapt to friction, to discomfort, and also to learn how to redirect that energy and create something really amazing for our lives. So we're living in a world that is super obsessed with comfort, and that has led to society, to us as human beings, being obsessed around comfort. We know, our conscious minds know that discomfort and is what is needed to grow and prosper and succeed in life. And yet, whenever there's an opportunity to invite comfort into our lives, we will take that. For example, Uber Eats, microwaves, Netflix, HelloFresh, skincare that promises instant results, like the ones that particularly, you put on your jawline or neckline and or around your eyes, and it suddenly removes all the wrinkles instantly. Botox and any sort of, cosmetic procedure that it promises, immediate results to get you from going from one look to another look. I'm not saying that any of these things are bad, not shaming you in any way. I'm saying using these as examples of how we've invited comfort into our lives, like the discomfort over our physical looks. We can change it now in a moment. If you got the cash, you can change it. If you are running out of time and want to spend more time working or more time with your children, you can fix that with a HelloFresh delivery. Or you can get meals delivered right through your door. Fresh, and not frozen, any solution, vegan, vegetarian, any sort of dietary restriction or preference, it is available to you right now. If you got the cash and you want able to part with cash, you can have it right now. Shein, Temu, Amazon, Afterpay. You don't even have to read a book anymore. You can just listen to a book through Audible or through an audio version of a book whilst driving, might I add, or whilst walking or exercising. You can do two things at once. So we are living in a world that is comfort obsessed, and we need to be really, really aware of that. Doesn't mean that these things are bad. It means that we need to be conscious about the long-term impact to our skill set as a human being in being able to adapt, to manage, to breathe through discomfort. Because growth is not going to happen in the comfort zone. It's going to happen outside the comfort zone. And if you're wondering, is that me? I don't think so. Well, there's nothing that shows this more clearly than when discomfort comes uninvited into your life and you resist it and push it. So think about a moment in your life where discomfort came uninvited. You did not ask for it. It came into your life in a very annoying, frustrating, overwhelming, stressful way. And what did you do as a result of that? We resist. I know for myself, I resist against it. I push against it. And I fight really hard to get rid of it as soon as possible out of my life. And that may be through activities and means and ways of numbing that uncomfortable emotion. Doesn't mean the problem goes away. To remove, because it's not so much the problem, it's the emotion, the feelings that problem invokes in us that is actually the discomfort, is actually the thing that we're struggling with. And so to remove that feeling, that uncomfortable emotions and feelings that are rising in my body from that difficult situation or that shitty person, what do? I engage in numbing activities so that I don't have to feel or think. I just do something in that moment. And that could be through eating really crappy foods or consuming really crappy things or endless scrolling on the phone. So think about, when discomfort has come uninvited into your life, and how have you reacted in response to that? Have you leaned into it courageously, bravely? Have you looked at it as an opportunity, as a training ground to make you stronger? Have you embraced it? Were you able to breathe through it and as a result be stronger because of it? Or did you push against it and resist against it and fight hard to get rid of these uncomfortable emotions and feelings, rather than to feel the feelings and move through that challenge in your life, your business, or your career? And so we can often see these patterns of our inability to be comfortable with the uncomfortable in looking at past times and places and situations in our lives where discomfort has come into our life uninvited, and how we responded to that in response to that. And often this means, scrolling through our phone, drinking alcohol, consuming, substances that are not good for us. This could include foods that are high in fat, highly processed, high in sugar, watching hours of Netflix, complaining to anyone and everyone that will hear us, and the list goes on. We've engaged in activities that haven't solved the problem, or we haven't engaged in actions that haven't been actions that might solve that problem or seek to pursue actions that solve the problem, but instead engage in activities that numb us from experiencing the uncomfortable emotions and feelings that situation or that person has invoked in us. So if you think for one moment that you are comfortable and you've got a down pat, that you are comfortable being uncomfortable, let me check you on that again. Because if you look to your life, you will see. Now, unless you are a perfect human being, which I do not think exists in this current world right now, unless you're a perfect human being, this is true for everyone, myself included, that we all struggle with discomfort in our lives. And yet when we look to our past life as well, we can also see how that discomfort has led to some of the biggest breakthroughs in our life as well. It could be that health scare. It could be that health situation and challenge. It could be that relationship breakdown. It could be burnout. It could be that shitty manager that was bullying you and discriminating you. It could be financial debt, whatever the situation might be. When we look at the biggest discomforts in our lives, we can often see they have led to the biggest breakthroughs in our life. They have given us a crystal clear perspective that we needed in that very moment on what needs to change in our lives, and to give us a motivation and the drive to actually take action and change it, rather than thinking about it or pondering about it and whatever. It's often we need a massive amount of discomfort, a massive amount of friction, a massive amount of discomfort in our lives in order to actually move us to take action. So we don't have to wait for those moments to happen, right? We don't have to wait. I mean, that said, those moments are definitely going to happen. And we don't have to wait for those moments in order for us to grow and succeed and create amazing things in our lives. We can actually invite discomfort into our lives and retrain our minds to embrace it, not avoid it. And the way that I'm doing that currently in my life is by having cold showers every single morning, even in the wintertime, even when I go down to Melbourne. And Melbourne is really cold in the wintertime. And when I put that shower on, I literally physically gasp because it's so icy cold. And I have a shower. I'm committed to having a cold shower every single morning, except when I have a really, really bad cold and I'm really sick and I need a hot shower to take out all that phlegm, from a hot steamy shower, take out all the phlegm. So that is the only exception to the rule. I must have a cold shower every single morning. It's also asking for what I want or what I need. I really, really struggle with this. My whole career has been orientated around helping others. And my conversations are always geared around, how can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I contribute to making your life better? And so actually asking for what I want and what I need is really, really difficult. And I even did this on Friday, which I'm really proud of. As clunky as the conversation was, I asked for what I wanted and needed in the moment. Having difficult conversations, having conversations that I don't want to have, that feel really icky and disgusting and gross. And it's about having the conversation, not per se solving the situation, but for me, it's about having a difficult conversation, voicing my concerns, voicing my ideas, voicing my needs and wants and having that conversation, regardless of my fear of what the resulting impact might be or how that person's going to react in that moment. Speaking up and loudly when strangers discriminate me intentionally. The last 2 weeks, I have had some really stupid white men say some really stupid things on the street. I don't know these people. I'm minding my own fucking business, walking my dog. Literally, I'm on my side of the streets, minding my own business, admiring the view of the ocean, and these people have had things to say. And so for me, it's speaking up and loudly for everyone to hear that I will not tolerate this nonsense. So speaking up and loudly when strangers discriminate me intentionally. Waking up at 4:44 a.m. 444 is intentional, if you know anything about numbers and energy and spirituality. And I do not like waking up before the sun wakes up. It's a thing. And I am not a morning person. I am a night owl. And so I wake up at 4:44 a.m. every morning. Right now, I'm aiming to wake up every single day and have regular wake times and nap times, sleeping times. It's doing the thing I don't feel like doing every day. Even this episode, I don't feel like doing it. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I had to do some research. And I still do it. And I'm doing it. I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right now. Choosing compassion over retaliation when someone hurts me. This is a massive one because as nice and sweet as I am, there are some moments in my life where I really want to snap back. I really want to say something and speak my mind, and I really want to retaliate. Maybe I want to throw eggs at their car. I don't know. And for me, it's choosing compassion over retaliation when someone hurts me. I'm not talking about when someone hurts me and I love them and they love me. I'm talking about stupid human beings who intentionally want to hurt me, who I thought were friends, and I want to retaliate. And instead, I choose compassion. It's sitting in the sauna, right? Sitting in the sauna. Don't like it. Hurts. Sweating like a pig sweat. I don't know. And I plant my ass in the sauna. It's keeping my phone in the drawer on silent when I'm working. Now, my phone's 24/7 on silent, and I would say I'm really good at being detached on my phone, and that is because of this practice as well as the next one that I'm going to speak about. And still, it's really uncomfortable because when I'm working, particularly when I'm working on tasks that don't feel fun, I want to check my phone, and I can feel that itch to check my phone. And so I keep my phone in a drawer, and that feels really super uncomfortable. It's removing all social media from my phone, including the TV from my house. So I did this about 10 years ago. I removed my TV from my house, and probably about 5 to 10 years ago, maybe, I can't remember the exact time frame, I also removed all social media from my phone. There are periods when I put YouTube back on my phone, and I have not had Instagram or Facebook or any social media on my phone for a really long time, for years and years. So that is uncomfortable still. It's crazy how these habits can be super, super addictive. Even though they haven't been on my phone for like at least a minimum 5 years, it still feels really super uncomfortable because I find myself, scrolling my phone is like literally nothing to scroll and nothing to look at except my text messages and WhatsApp. And that's like literally it. Fasting. I recently did a water fast, and that was really super challenging. I've also done a fresh food fast. So it's like a package that comes to you, and you do it for 5 days. And you have a certain amount of pre-made like foods, amount of calories per week. It's all whole foods, and it's all vegan, and it's a certain amount of calories. So your body still goes into fast mode. And it was for 5 days. And that was really excruciating. So I did that. And then recently I did a water fast. Ooh, I am speaking so much and exerting so much energy as I talk. I am sweating a little bit. And intensive fitness training. So this is something that I'm not doing in the moment. I haven't done for the last 2 years for health reasons, and something that I've pursued. I used to do F45. I used to hate it in the moment, and afterwards love the feeling. And the last one, which is one of the hardest, is letting go of friends, or letting go of good people who don't add value to my life. And that's something that I've been actively doing for the last 10 years is, as I come to an awareness of who is holding me back, who is not adding value to my life, whose energy is not constructive and value adding in my life. I am choosing to let go of those friends with love and compassion, and let go gradually over time, rather than hold on to those friendships or try and change them. And these are good people. These aren't bad people. These are good people with good hearts and good intentions, who I have chosen to let go in my life because I only want value-adding friends in my life. So the reality is that even though all of these things feel uncomfortable in the moment, the long-term impact is 100 times better than not doing these things. The impact in the long term far outweighs the momentary discomfort of engaging in these activities. And as a quote says, which I don't know who said this quote, which is, do the hard things and life will be easy. Do the easy things and life will be hard. So by deliberately seeking out discomfort, what I'm essentially doing is building and strengthening my discomfort muscle, my tolerance for enduring and experiencing hard things in life. So when uninvited challenges, problems, and difficulties come into my life, rather than crumbling and falling apart, I have the tolerance, right? My muscles have been pumped and my muscles have been built. I have the tolerance required to go straight into solution mode and to not break or have so much emotional discomfort and friction that I go straight to numbing activities rather than solving that problem, rather than moving through that problem, because all problems and challenges are momentary unless you are currently in the Ukraine or experiencing some kind of genocide or adverse trauma in your life and extreme difficulties. And as I always say, with anything that I share, you have complete agency and autonomy. So pick the parts of the information that I'm sharing with you that are relevant for you and that are contextual to where you are at in your life and what you are currently experiencing, and throughout the rest. So absolutely, we need to lean into discomfort. We need to seek out discomfort in our life to build that muscle. Nassim Taleb calls this anti-fragility, which is actually, as from what I understand, a term that comes from the science of mathematics, meaning that when there is friction, there is growth. And chaos is what is needed in order for creation to happen. And so what I know to be true is that life is always going to be difficult. Life is always going to be challenging, and we don't know what life is going to throw at us. The more that I engage with people and learn about other people's stories, the more I discover and uncover how hard some people's lives really are, how people's lives can change in a singular moment. It can be go from sunshines and rainbows and puppies flying through grass fields and beautiful, cute little kittens and cute little baby animals, through you living through a complete hell in your life. We don't know if that's going to happen to our lives. We're not minders, we're not psychics, and we're not fortune tellers. And we need to prepare ourselves for if that happens in our life. And if it doesn't happen, know that this is a muscle and tool that you can lean into to expand, to grow, to succeed in your life as well. I really believe that everything worth having in life comes from hard work. And hard work, I don't mean quantities, I mean things that feel hard, the discomfort, the friction, the uncomfortableness of life. So seek out discomfort in your life to build the tolerance for when uninvited discomfort comes in your life. You will be able to not crumble. As a result, you will be able to go into solution mode. And as a result of that, get stronger, right? Rather than be a crumbling hot mess. So my question to you is, how are you inviting discomfort in your life? What practices, daily practices, or moments can you create in your life to experience discomfort, to build your tolerance level for discomfort in your life, so that as you succeed and grow, the bigger the success, the bigger the growth, the bigger the problem, the challenge, the friction, the discomfort, it's going to come in handy, right? Rather than resisting or pushing against growth and success in life, you're going to lean into it. And when uninvited discomfort comes into your life, you will have the muscle strength that is needed in order to breathe through it, to stay calm and redirect that chaos into creation. We're living in a comfort-obsessed life. Not enough of us are inviting discomfort into our life. As life continues to evolve, as the modern world continues to evolve, more friction is going to be removed from our daily life, from business in general. AI is a huge testament to that. And we need to start creating more and more moments of discomfort in order for us to grow and to succeed and to experience more fulfilling life. And the reality is that when we experience discomfort, the science and research shows that we have actually more fulfilling lives. That said, I totally acknowledge and understand that there are shitty things that happen in life, shitty discomforts that happen in life that aren't beautiful, that are just simply really shitty, hard situations in life. So, how are you inviting discomfort into your life? And know that discomfort is the magical elixir and answer that you're looking for in your life right now that will help you solve all your biggest problems in your life right now. And that requires you to build your muscle, your discomfort muscle, on a daily basis. I hope that serves you today. If you haven't subscribed to my Instagram channel or my YouTube channel, I highly recommend that you do. That's me asking for what I want and what I need. And please get behind your BIPOC content creators as well. The world needs better leadership. The world needs a different kind of leadership right now. So please subscribe to not just my channel and my Instagram channel, to other BIPOC content creators out there, and support us and get behind us, because the world needs a different kind of leadership. We need newer ideas, we need different ideas, and that needs to come from different voices and people with different lived experiences. Have a wonderful rest of the week. I hope this helps and serves you. Take what is relevant for you and where you are at in your life right now. Chuck out the rest. You have full agency and autonomy. Take 100% responsibility for your life. It's your life. You have one life, so go all in. It's Winnie the Bunny, and thank you very much for taking the time and energy to listen to me today.